Hey y'all, come on in. Welcome back. I think today we're going to be my wife wanted a cell phone case that she could wear on her belt. Oh well, okay. I've never done a cell phone case, so I don't even know if anybody but she and I both wear ours on our belt, but we may be the only two in existence that do. The ones I see, most people just put them in their hip pocket or something like that, so I don't know. I never gave it much thought. But anyway, I want to apologize on that video that I tried to make, that last video on how to end a double loop stitch. It got part of the way through it, and then I don't know where the rest of it went. It went out into space somewhere. But not on any of our folders or files or anything like that on the computer, so I have no clue where it went. But if y'all could ever see me try to operate a computer, it would become abundantly clear very quickly that that is not what I need to be doing. Just not my field of expertise. No. I guess it comes from being a mechanic all my life, that I just cannot tolerate a machine telling me how to do something. No, you're going to do what I tell you to do, otherwise I'll get a machine that can. So I guess that's probably where it comes from. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know where it went. It's gone. So I guess I should be thankful that I get any of them out there. And this is absolutely no joke. When I was with the Air Force, the information that we would have to put on the computers, the base commanding officer and one of the lead IT technicians was standing there looking over my shoulder, watching me try to enter my information into that computer, and I brought that terminal offline faster than pulling the plug out of the wall. The IT technician looked at my commanding officer and said, "I have no clue what he just did, but I wiped it off." So I guess out of the powers that be there at the Pentagon and Department of Defense, they decided in the best interest for national security that they came up with those icon shortcuts that are on the screen, and I was given very explicit orders to do not go anywhere other than those shortcuts. I was not to ever try to do anything else, which was fine by me. So anyway, I don't know where that video went. I'm going to try to do some projects here that a little bit more start to finish. They're going to have to be longer, just simply due to the fact that I don't even know how to do that time-lapse stuff that I see other people that I watch on YouTube. I don't know how they do that. I have no clue. So I want to show y'all some things, but that's the only way that I know how to do it, at least for right now. So what I've got, my wife wanted a cell phone case. Okay. So we did some measurements on an old cell phone case that we have, and we came up with a pattern that we like. It's all one piece. That's what we're going to try to do with a lot of our stuff, is just try to make it one piece instead of multiple pieces, as much as we can. But anyway, what I'm going to be doing, I thought y'all might be interested in seeing this. Maybe some beginners and stuff. I'm going to be using 3 different things. I'm going to be using my letter stamps. Rosie, if you want to supervise or help, that's great, but don't step on the project. We live in Texas, as you know, but I've got a stamp of a cowboy boot. Has a star on the side of it. She liked it. And then I've got a Longhorn stamp or bull. It's Longhorn if you want it to be. And then she wants our brand put across the bottom of it, so I'm going to take my smaller of the letter stamps then, and I'm going to put that right across the bottom. Now I've already got this pre-wet. I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but I've already got the border laid out all the way around it. And then what I'm going to do is, the bluebonnet is the Texas state flower, but we have another one that's called the Yellow Rose of Texas, and quite a few songs and stuff like that written about it.
The state song is Yellow Rose of Texas.
So anyway, or Judy just said the state song is Yellow Rose of Texas. So, okay. So I'm going to come in. I've got a rose. I went through my pattern box and I found a rose that she liked. So I put it on some tracing film. So that'll go on. And then, to top it all off, she also wanted the state flag on there. So I'm going to put this state flag as my background. Now if you're thinking it won't fit, yes it will. I want to show you something. If any of you, maybe some of you new viewers, haven't seen my cat that I did, but that is a culmination of 6 different patterns that I overlaid on a full side of leather in order to come up with that one design. So don't think you have to use just one pattern. I use pictures, drawings. If it's clear enough that I can get a pattern off of it on tracing film, then I'm good to go. But the secret to doing that is you have to know what is your most prominent feature going to be. Flag's going to be in the background. Everything else is going to be on top of the flag. So I want them to look as though they're on top of the flag. And I'll show you one example of it is on the wallet that I did. See, I've got the JBK brand, and I've got the Longhorn, if you want to call it that. They're the prominent features. The flag is behind them, and then the basket weave is behind everything. So what we're going to have is, or what I'm going to do, in order to create that, I guess, 3D effect, if you want to call it that, I'll do the stamps first, and we'll do that together. And then I'll come in after I get that, and I'll lay the rose in place where it's going to live. And then the flag will be the last thing to go on. And the secret to doing that is you have to first off get it in your mind what's going to be your most prominent feature, and then everything else goes behind that. And I'll show you how to get that effect. So I showed her what I had in mind. She gave me the go ahead to go with it. So that's what we're going to do. Do the Longhorn over here on this side. I've already done some predetermining of where she wanted them placed. So I'm going to have 2.5 inches off of my center line to the bottom of the stamp. Rosie, you're going to lay up there. You're going to have to be careful what you do with stuff. And then I'm going to come 1/2 inch thin off of my edge to that corner of that stamp. And that's how I'm going to place it. So, I hold a little pressure on it. Now I don't use a whole lot of force. When I'm getting it started. But once you get the impression made in there, then you can come back you see how that one bounced on me. You gotta be careful of that. That's why I don't hit them too hard to begin with. That's gonna mess you up, which I just did. Now if I were going to sell that to a customer, I'd have to start all over again. Well, that's going to give you an illusion. I can come in with a background tool and clean that up, beveling tool or something like that. I can make a lot of that disappear. Good example if you want to hold firm pressure down on it. Yeah, I can come in with a background tool and clean that up. And that'll take care of the bowl. And the other thing she wanted was a cowboy boot. So I'm going to put it over here. So I need my 2.5 inches off of my center to the back of the stamp. Where we're at there. I want to get my 1/2 inch to the corner. Boy, I got lucky. Almost spot on. Come back and double check this one. Yeah, we're right where we need to be. Okay, now we'll set that one. You can get these stamps I've got a whole drawer full of them. Flowers and birds and just different stuff. That I've collected over the years. Now remember, you can lean that tool around if you need to have a little bit more in one area. Don't be afraid to do that. That's pretty good right there. What I'll do on here that you can do is where that one bounced on me, I can come in with a background tool and I can come in around this design and I can clean that up enough to where you're really not going to see it. Let me get that a little bit wet down towards the bottom. And we'll set the letters in place. Now this is where it gets to be kind of fun, especially with me, is how to get your spacing and spell it correctly. When I'm doing letters, I do them from the inside out. So I have to be real careful so I can get my spacing and not misspell the word or the name or whatever it may be. So she wants the JBK brand. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the letter A. It's just going to be for spacing. That's all it's going to be used for. JBK, so I need the K first. Where is it? Rosie, what'd you do? There it is.
I think she's arranged herself.
And what they do is they'll build this square block around these letters, and that's intentional so that you can get your spacing correct. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the bottom of it right down there towards that border. Okay. I kind of like these smaller letters because you don't have to smack them quite so hard as you do the bigger ones. All right. Got the K set. Now I'm going to get this A completely out of the way, at least for now, so I don't accidentally put it in there. So I'll leave the K in place. Got the B, double check, triple check, quadruple check. Ask Rosie to check it. Whatever you got to do. But once it's in there, it's in there. Put the K up now. Leave the B in place. Let's find our J. Where's the J? Here's the J. I may have mentioned this before or not, but how you know you've got it facing the right direction. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but they've got the letter down at the bottom of it. So if you have this facing you, then your letter's going to be facing the right direction when you put it in there. But I feel bad about not being able to get that video out. I don't know where it went. It's on one of the moons out around Pluto or something, I don't know. But it's not on YouTube. Even Judy, out of self-defense, she used to even make her or build her own computers. And bless her heart, she tries to help me, but I cannot get it. I just cannot get a hold of it. Alright, so there's the J. Now I'm going to need the B over here. So what I'll do to separate a word or a name, I'll put the K back in place so it'll stay put. We'll just use the letter A again. Get our spacing. And then I'll bring the B in. That's still where y'all can see it. I've got you off to the side a little bit. I'll bring you in closer here in just a second when I get ready to put the rows on there. And once you get it pretty good, or where you like it, I don't need the A anymore. I don't need the K anymore. Leave the B in place. Get the R. Where are you? And we have started to dry out here in Texas where we live. We've entered into our summer phase of the where we live anyway. But it'll now I need the A. Should have moved those over a little bit further. Let me get it a little bit more wet. This is part of it when you're using multiple stamps and multiple patterns. Because how many letters is it going to take to spell it out? And then how close are you going to be to your border at the end. But I'm already committed on this one. Can't take it back. If it was going to go to a customer, then I'd redo it. But I should have just shifted the whole thing over even a little bit more. Because the D is going to run out into the border. But this would be a good example of what you have to do. You have to think it through, and you have to lay it out. And I'll give that some thought as to whether, because the D is going to be way out here on the border. I may just recut that and do another one. But anyway, let's go ahead. Yeah, I think that's what I'll probably do. I can use this leather for something else, so I'm not worried about that. Like I said before plenty of times, don't throw this stuff away. You're going to make mistakes, okay? It's part of it. You're just going to. Been doing this since the 8th grade, and you see I'm still messing up. But that's just part of it. You're going to. No. Just the name of the game. But had I used two letters in here, then it would have shifted the JBK further over here to the left. And I would have had room then to put all of the brand over here on this side. But I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what I mean by overlaying your patterns. I'll go ahead and go on through with this one so you can see that part of it. And then I'll recut another one, and I'll get it back up to that point where we're going to be using a swivel knife and cutting it in.
And Keith,
Hmm?
a mistake means it's handmade. It's not machine. It's not
Well,
coming off of a similar line.
yeah, a mistake means it's handmade, but then you don't want your letters where they don't need to be. And let's see. She wanted the rose then in the center, which we'll do. I only do the rose part of it and not the stem. Now that this is wet, it's going to even leave this impression. I think I'm just going to do the outside portion of the rose, not all of it, so you can see, or you can get the idea of how to overlay your patterns. Because that flag now is not going to be, this road's going to be in front of it, so I don't need to put the whole thing in there to get the idea. And if I hadn't messed up on doing the letters, then we'd go on through with it. But you come on down, you do your stem. I'll just do part of it. What, Rosie? We'll get this part here. Yeah, I can cut that bottom piece off and use it for a wallet or something like that. And that'll be the outside of the rose part of it. And now to put the state flag on, that's where it gets to be fun. Is I'll center it between the borders. Just about like so. I'd normally measure it. And now what you're going to do is your boot is a prominent feature. So you bring this part of the flag just down to the boot. And I'll come down the rest of it. Where your A is down here, just come down and touch it. And I'll go in between the letters, wherever the flag is. But I will not draw the line across the letters or the boot, because you want the flag to be behind it. Now where the long horn is up here, I'll come up to the horn. I won't touch the letters when I get back down here. And the same thing with the rose on the inside. I'll just show you part of it here. Get my hand out of the way. Now the flag's going to be behind the rose. So I'll draw the leaf of the rose. And then this line for the flag, I'll come up to that leaf. But I won't go through it. Same way up here. Draw your leaf. This one's going to hit the rose petals, so I'll just come right down to them. And that'll be about it. But your rose is going to be your prominent feature. Sitting on top of that flag. And if you ever want to find out where you're at, don't be afraid to pick this tracing film up if you need to recheck something. Triple check it, double check it. Have somebody else check it. Have a cat or dog check it. Like I just demonstrated. Once it's there, it's there. Nothing you can do about it. I think that's enough of the rose so you can get the idea. Get that tracing film out of the way. And I'll show you what I mean here. Now that top petal on the rose is going to hit the edge of your flag. Flag's going to be behind it, so I'm just bringing the pencil mark down to that rose petal. Top of the boot. I'll bring this one down to that rose petal. Your rose petal is going to come out to here. But that'll give you the idea of how I'll use multiple stamps, I'll use multiple pictures, I'll use multiple lots of things. See on the boot where I just came up, it's going to be on top of the flag. I'll come in, I'll tool the border. Wherever it touches the letters, I'll tool it, but I'm not coming through the letters because they're going to be on top of the flag. That flag is going to be behind everything. So anyway, made some mistakes on this one, but like I said, I can cut this bottom part out down here and make something else with it. Maybe long enough for a belt blank, or not a belt blank, but a wallet. I can come in here and cut that down and do that. But anyway, let me redo one and get it up to the swivel knife part of it. And we'll try this again. As always, don't be mean, folks. If you're not willing to treat Jesus that way, then let's not treat each other that way. We're here to have fun, make mistakes, learn from it, and make some stuff out of leather. So with that, until the next time, hopefully maybe tomorrow, I'll get the next one up to this point and get everything put on there. And before I cut it, I'll show you the entire layout. I'll show you how I did it, and hopefully that'll answer some questions that some of you may have, and then inspire some of you. Don't be afraid to use multiple patterns. You know, don't. That's how you do it. That's how you create something that nobody else has. And it's something you did. So anyway, with that, hopefully until tomorrow, and maybe I can get this video actually on YouTube in its entirety without sending it to Pluto or Mars or something. Now that's an idea. Maybe the Mars rover could watch it or something. I don't know. Anyway, until tomorrow, adios.